What is up, family, and welcome back to another episode of the Kitchen Table Podcast. I'm Ken Baden, and today is a special episode. As you can see, I'm in my summertime fit, my short shorts, with my guy, Shawn, who we've had on before, but it was like clipped up. It was with you and Will, right?
Yeah.
First of all, welcome, Shawn.
I appreciate it. Always a pleasure.
Shawn is a good friend of mine, and like I said, we've done this before, actually twice, and we didn't get to use the second one because that's when you were visiting Will, and the sound was like, it was just too shoddy, yeah. So, but we made up for it by doing it live in studio. We got you here. So it's me, and we got a couple guys behind camera that you can't see. But the funny thing is, everybody not me that's in here is from Jamaica. And these dudes are all talking to themselves while we're trying to get ready, and I don't understand a single word these dudes are saying. And technically, it's English, right? Or what do you call that?
It's just broken English.
Broken English.
So people call it what? Patois.
Patois?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Creole.
Creole?
Yeah, that's
okay.
actually like broken English. Like most African speak broken English and broken French, to be honest.
Okay.
But everybody knows that Creole.
Where are you from in Jamaica?
I was born in Kingston.
Kingston, like Shawn Kingston.
Yeah, I was born in Kingston.
What, is that like a white American guy thing? Like, all right, Kingston.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
What's that?
I would agree.
I was a big Shawn Kingston fan. I actually just read dude got busted, like, I don't know.
I heard about that too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did
I
they?
think it's on some tax or some money thing.
I didn't know, I just saw it.
But I know they apparently took his mom in custody.
Oh,
That's
man.
as far as I really know.
Damn, Shawn Kingston. So, Shawn and I both go to the gym together. Shawn's if you can't tell, Shawn is a big fitness buff. He at least was and has competed. He's got his own personal training thing. Shawn's an athlete, so you came here, right?
Yeah, I came here on a full scholarship, running scholarship, and that didn't work out as well as most of us hope. I think when you come here from a different country, it's like some people end up in the right spot, others don't end up so much in the right spot, and it's like a start over. I don't think you could do sports and work or do anything otherwise from school and train. When you gotta like do other things like work, it don't really work out. So I think it's best for like a lot of us to actually give our own country opportunity to see where we could go by staying home. I honestly believe if Bolt came here, he wouldn't be the Usain Bolt we all know. So a lot of the people I know.
Really? Can you elaborate on that? Just because?
It's America only care about basketball and American football. Every other sport is like put on the back burner. Like I coach my daughter's soccer team right now, and it's like an hour and 30 minutes, which we all in here that play sports back home, training is 2-3 hours in the morning, another 2-3 hours in the afternoon. So I train twice a day for years.
Wow.
So coming here and, try to do what they do here, like 30 minutes, an hour and a half the most, when basketball get 2-3 hours, football get a couple hours, you can't really do much.
Yeah. With
an hour and a half. By the time you warm up, stretch, that's 30 minutes right there. So I think it's just best to, some of us to stay home or find, if you put in the right spot, I would say that's gold. Because a lot of people I know, like Melanie Walker, I think she won the 4 hurdle at the Olympics. We went to the same college and she turned out pretty good. So a lot of the people I know turned out pretty well. But at the same time, it's just, you have to put into the right place or the right system that people cares.
Yeah. And you came, and I see what you're saying. So it's like unless you're coming over here for football or basketball, it's like you're kind of taking a back seat, and they don't have the right setup, I guess.
Yeah, well, college I went to, we was in the wintertime, we training on a basketball court, bro. Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, we in America training on a basketball court. I thought every school here, every college here had all this bells and whistles until you show up and be like, oh, wait a minute.
Right, yeah, what is this? Where's my top facility for running? Like you said, you came here specifically for that. Is disappointing to hear, but that's actually what I really like talking to Shawn and anybody, any of any friends of mine that are, now obviously here and doing well, but either first or second generation American, right? Like either straight up just having come from when they were young another country, or their parents came from, or like just far enough separated away to where they still have that, like there's a certain work ethic and a certain level of appreciation for like what you could do pretty easily here, that I feel like Americans born here, especially the young ones, man, but even ones my age, are just like, they're whiny little privileged bitches, and it drives me nuts.
I think everybody, like most people, wants one person to lead, and they kind of follow, but not really follow. Like if it work, they'll be like, yes, I'm with you. But if it don't work, you do all the hard work, but if it don't work, then it's like they don't support you as how they're supposed to. So they allow one person to do all the work, and then everybody else just sit, on the backside and just watch, instead of taking part and help, pushing that person. I even just work alongside that person to get to the end goal. But I will say this, I think one of the mistakes I made, but I don't never really talk about this, but to most people, I think one of the mistakes I made while I was in college, I allowed that coach to, what would you say? I allow him to dictate my future, and then I let my pride at the time get the best of me. And the reason why I said that, because I never really talk about this, and like I said, but I actually got kicked out of college because I was a guy. The coach was all about the female, and it was 5 of us. 2 of us, made the wrong decision, which was me. I think I should have went back and learned. I even begged, like the other 2 guys did, went back and asked for their scholarship back and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, it's my future, not his. So I think that's one of the things I kind of regret not doing, because I feel like the outcomes right now would have been a lot different.
What happened? I mean, can you talk about it, or as far as like why that happened, or is it just not relevant?
Why it happened? As good as I was running, I feel like I never got to my true potential. I will say that. But when you are so used to, like, I don't know about if y'all did the same thing, but back home, and my coach was like, any issue we have, you turn to the coach. Hey, coach, I got issue with this teacher, or this happened, I got something with the principal. Whatever happened, you turn to the coach, and the coach take care of the situation. Like, I had one issue in English class, and again, when you don't speak properly or proper English, my English wasn't this great. Right. It was a little rough. So doing presentation and stuff like that was kind of hard. Accent was really heavy. So English class, what I will say is I had a little issue, meaning every paper I wrote, everything I did, it was like I ended up getting an F. And it didn't make sense to me. So one of the athletes on my team, she was actually a tutor, English tutor. She went over the paperwork. Like every time I wrote something, I let her double check it, right? Took them in, still get an F.
Wow.
So I didn't know how you take care of that, what the issue, how you do that, how you fix it. So what I did, went to my coach, right? Nothing happened. I had to take the class over in the summertime, which I did, end up passing the class. But went on summer break, came back and just found out they wasn't paying the tuition no more.
Wow.
And then he actually lied. He lied to my mom. He lied to the coach that was in George Mason, because that's who got me in that school. He actually lied. And if I knew what I knew now, that there's different ways I could have went about it. But what I did was I just took it and just like, let me try something else. When did get into another school, and only thing they needed was the transcript from the school I was in. Couldn't get it. Like when I got the transcript, it was somebody else's name.
Wow.
And then the other guy, he ended up owing the school money, and I understand how you owe the school money when you're on a full ride. So a lot of stuff didn't make sense, but as young 20-year-old, what I know, I ain't know much, so I just took it and just run with it, which I shouldn't have.
Right.
You know what I mean? I should have fight for what actually was mine, which was my future.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I think I turned out pretty well, though.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I ain't doing that bad.
But I can see why you would be like, it's always like the path not taken, you know what I mean? That's always man, I wonder. Which is a big reason why now, because I got a bunch of those, dude. I got a bunch of those. The singing thing, a bunch of that shit, man, where I like start something and like there's this promise of, damn, if this works out. And then it's all the dreaming, and I even had my homeboys and everybody involved, like, man, we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be doing that. Like, have you ever seen the show Entourage? You might not have ever seen that. That was popular like 10 years ago, but at the time, it was a dude from Boston. It's about Mark Wahlberg. I think he's the creator of the show, but it's basically like him and his brother and his whole entourage like go to Hollywood, and Mark makes it, then his brother makes it, and they're all like just his entourage. Like one of them becomes his manager, one becomes his driver, and like all my buddies are like, oh, I'm gonna be, they're picking who's gonna be what, and we're only singing in like moose lodges and shit like that, but still, you know what I mean? Like you see the potential of like, but we're gonna go here, and then before I ever even get to a place where that's even possible, every time it was like time to fight or take the next step, I would just give up, or I would self-sabotage, because I think in some ways afraid, like what if it really does happen, and how hard is it going to be, or if I fail, then that means it's over. So it's almost like the dream of that thing is more, I don't know, like you're having so much fun and everybody's bought in with you, but what if it fails, you know what I mean? And so I'd rather like stop and not try, which is just crazy. But I was young too, man. And now
I think we do that a lot.
Yeah.
I think the fact our failure is such a big thing that most of us don't want. We're so afraid to fail, not understanding that failure that's how you actually learn and grow. When you fail, that's how you learn, okay, I make this mistake, I'm not gonna make this one. Because I feel like me and Will are doing it kind of right now, which we're trying to come out with some clothes. And it's like every time I, put something on, people be like, man, where you get that from?
Yeah, I did that.
So we designed this shirt, which I was gonna wear it today, but didn't wash it, but whatever. So
we'll
we designed this shirt.
Bring it back in.
Yeah, we designed this shirt, which was pretty dope, man. And this young guy was like, the last time I saw you, you was like, y'all working on this shirt, like, when can I buy it? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
So I'm like, here we go again, man. And I just immediately hit Will up and like, bro, we gotta stop doing this. Like, people keep asking me when we coming with this shirt, so what's up? Let's go.
Yeah.
So we actually in the works now, man, trying to get this stuff together. So when we put it out, we'll make sure we come on here. So
yeah, hell yeah, man, 100%. And we will put that out there, man, because that's the thing. We got to support each other's dreams, but also entrepreneurial, what's the word I'm looking for? We got to support each other, man. That's the bottom line.
I think
that's
together,
real.
Man, that's the one thing I was telling him while I was in the car. Like, people don't work together to be successful. Like, if we work together, like, it will be so much easier to get to where we need to get to. You know what I mean? So even this shirt that I got on, it's actually a shirt from somebody local.
Yeah?
Yeah, I saw the guy at the gas station selling shirts, bro. Bought 2 shirts and it's like, damn, it's like, oh, okay, it's actually a nice fit.
Yeah.
It feels good. Materials feel good. I don't want to pay $20 for it. So
right, it looks good. It looks legit.
Yeah, it looks legit. Material is good. Washed a couple of times. It didn't shrink or nothing.
Right,
so again, man, we just got to support each other, man. We can't just not support our own.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's the power of networking, man, like you said.
We'll go support somebody we don't know.
Right, we'll
Real
put
quick.
money in a brand's pocket, but we won't. I've seen so many memes about that. Like, we'll go support these places and businesses and all these establishments we don't know, but when it comes to your friends, especially if they've got businesses, not only will you maybe even not support them, but you might even hate on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that too.
Oh yeah,
a lot.
Well, I went through it with being at, I don't even know if I should say this out loud, but I went through it with being at Gold's Gym a little bit, where they thought I was kind of training there, but didn't understand my business where I start. Like, me personally, I go to my clients to train them, not coming to where I am, because I learned that our gym got so much stuff, man, like, it's crazy, love it. But if you bring people there, and then they turn around and go back to their gym, don't have the same equipment, don't have the same thing. How can I teach you? How can you learn? So I found out one of the things that's missing in this business is going to your clients and training your clients in their location, wherever it is, whether it's be like your little apartment gym, you know what I mean, whatever gym they go to. But I started understanding that it's costly. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more costly, it's a little bit more pricey, because again, you're traveling an hour, you're traveling 30, 40 minutes to go to your client, turn around, your client don't want to pay for that. So like a lot of people I notice now want the convenience, but don't want to pay for it.
Gotta pay for the convenience, man. That's the whole point, you know what I mean?
It's like, I can't really do it for free.
No.
You know, I've been down that road. I did that.
And you probably know some of these people.
Like,
that's crazy to me.
A lot of these people I know. And even when I'm all about fairness and cutting deals and all that stuff.
See, but that's what I was getting ready to say. I hate that. And I'll tell you why. Like, I think if I want to use you, and you're my friend. If I want to use your services, like, I am prepared to pay top dollar because I support you. And I mean, I think it's easier for me because I'm a fellow entrepreneur. So they say you buy how you sell, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so, like, I want that same respect. I want that, like, I don't want people calling me like, oh, hey, and I already know. That's why I won't do roofs for neighbors, friends. It's like a burden, because you already know they're expecting, like, well, what's up? What's up? They want the homie hookup every time, and it's like, listen, you know, if you're a friend or family member, I'll help you, but, like, you should support just what we just said. You should be supporting your people, and really the private sector. I mean, like, if everything was just, we wouldn't have any choices, you know what I mean? So you should support that as well, you know, like.
Yeah, I'm all about, like, supporting our, you know, especially when you know the person.
Small businesses.
Small business. I'm all about supporting everybody. I think one of the things that, you know, that you're going to get into is, like, everybody wants a deal. So I'm okay with that too. You know what I mean? I'm okay with, like, okay, it's my brother, whatever. You know, I don't mind cutting deals, but it's like, it get to the point when they trying to make you, like, more than half. Like, it's like you want me to do it for free now. It's like, that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, if you support me, I feel like you support me in every way.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of the, you know, the people that says they support you, that they don't.
Their actions don't line up.
Support you.
Yes.
You know, we could say a whole lot. Like I told my kids, like, words, you know, I know that in this country, like, words supposed to be powerful, and words is a lot, means a lot. But how we are raised in Jamaica, it's words is not that powerful. It's the action behind the words. You know, it's like, I tell you my boy, like, man, I love you, man, whatever, you need me, I got you. Then when you do need me, where am I at? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I understand that words, you know, here you got to understand words, and words is powerful. But for me, it's like the action behind the word. If you tell me all this stuff and, like, you don't show up, like right now I can sit here and I go outside and my car is broke down. I could pick up the phone and say, hey, Brandon, man, my car broke down. I'm out there on my bike, I stuck here. Man, I'm on 495, bro.
Right.
No matter what that dude is doing, he's like, man, I'm on my way. You know what I mean? So things like that, he don't have to tell me, like, I appreciate you. Like, the other day, we always, in the gym, I got little peppies I don't like. Right? I got little stuff in there. Most people know me now, by now in the gym. There's a lot of little things I don't like.
I think I remember this. But
you know, so we was using an equipment. Now, I was standing there doing, like, I think I was doing, like, laterals or something.
That's what it was.
And this guy walked over, and it's like, I have to stop so he could pick up the weight. I think that is rude and disrespectful, man. I think that you should wait till
I agree, by the way, right.
And then get you. The problem I have with Brandon is he don't mind stopping and let the person grab the weight. So me and him always bump heads when it comes to that. But he was calling me the other day like, hey, bro, are we good? Bro, we always good. I don't know if you have siblings growing up, but that's what family does.
Right.
We gonna argue here and there. It's not gonna be smooth sailing all the time.
Right.
But doesn't mean because we bumped head now, we still ain't family.
Right.
It don't mean nothing. You don't gotta call me be like, hey man, we good, just blah, blah, blah. No, bro, you my brother for life. So whatever you need, I'm always gonna be there. If we bumped head, we bumped head. That's what we do. That's what family does. Mm-hmm. We ain't agree on everything all the time. Right. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, you guys are just different.
You know, we are different.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, some of the things that, you know, me and him have to like work on. I gotta work on. I gotta stop taking these things to heart.
I agree with you, by the way, but I understand, like, you know, anyhow, I'm not gonna, I agree, but at the same token, I understand where the bottom line is we're different. So like, is it worth, how much energy is it worth giving? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's annoying, but also like, all right, man, like, but it is rude. I'm just saying, but but that's not me. So
nah, I'm actually I tell you, man, I got some great people around me now. So that's one of the things me and Ahmed talk about today. Like, why give these people your energy?
Right.
You know, they got negative energy comes around. You don't got to give them the time. You don't got to give them your energy. So that's the thing I'm working on now. So stuff like that, I just brushed off my shoulders. You know, I keep it moving. So, you know.
So you're working on, I know you're working on a clothing thing, and you've got the personal training. So of course, anybody, by the way, and again, this is a good friend of mine. So please, you know, I normally don't push or promote too many folks, but Shawn knows his shit, and I've worked out with the guy plenty of times myself. But if you're in the DMV, you should consider, if you're looking for a trainer, and if you haven't seen Will, I mean, these guys know what they're talking about. But what I really wanted to touch on is last time we talked on that path of health, success, nutrition. You brought something up last time. First of all, you called it a pear. I don't know what, I don't call it, what do we call it? An avocado? But anyhow, like the point was, you're like, I won't touch any of these things from here. They look weird, they're not right, and like it just got on the whole subject. Like my wife's been on this kick where she's like, that's got red dye number, whatever. I'm like, all right, man, I can't eat shit here because apparently America just like poisons everything. But can you talk about or elaborate like what we were talking about, which is like, man, I don't touch most American food. Why and what the difference is? Because health is so important. By the way, if you want to be successful, you want to make money, you want to be a business person, you want to be a salesperson, you want, like, if you don't have your health, you have nothing else. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care how wealthy you are, if you don't have your health, you can't buy more of that. Like, that, you'll be done for, right? So, like, can you elaborate on your unique perspective, which is an outside looking in, like coming here and like, what is with this food? Because I really think it's a big part of why the cancer rates and the health is the way it is. And we talked about Band-Aids and bullets, but I'll get further into that. Can you elaborate on what you were talking about before?
So, what was it, pear?
Pear, yeah. Pear. Yeah, it started with the pear, but which is an avocado, like, by the way.
Avocado.
But pear in Jamaica, avocado here. I just want to make sure for context, you understand what we're talking about.
We call it pear, which you eat pear, right? You just got here. Do you eat pear here or avocado here? No, most of us don't. The taste is not even the same. The size of it is not even the same. Now, we eat pear with a whole lot of stuff. Yeah. Like my mom made a dinner, like we got pear right next to the plate, right? About to eat a bulla. And most people gonna ask me why bulla. I'm not explaining what bulla is, but bulla sweet, right? So eating bulla and pear, oh my God. Bulla and pear, man, it's something I can't even tell you how good that is. So when you're used to certain type of food, like I know that, you know, I pay attention to, I went home in January and my whole system operates different when I go home. And it's just the food is so different. And I don't want to knock the food so much, but a lot of the food here, bro, is too many chemicals.
Yes, well, that's the truth.
You know what I mean?
That's what I want
to sit here and say, like, ketchup. I love ketchup. I love ketchup. But I have a sister in Canada, and comparing the ingredients with Heinz, right, here in America versus the one in Canada, It's completely different.
Even in Canada.
It's completely different.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know what corn syrup is and don't even pay attention to corn syrup. But in China, it's banned.
Corn syrup, wow.
It's banned in Canada.
All over everywhere.
But here, if you have a Pepsi right now, I can show you that corn syrup is in the Pepsi.
God, the same thing with like Skittles or the stuff like over in Europe, like half the candies, the kids too. That's the shame too. Like most of the substances are banned overseas, but even in Canada,
I'm telling you, it's not the same.
Wow.
Like
why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? I mean, I'm not trying to get all conspiracy, but look,
no, it's do you really? If you're healthy, a lot of people ain't gonna make money, right? Like I'm struggling right now because I just spent the last almost 2 months going to the doctors every week. Every week I'm going to the doctor. Why? I applied for a new job and I had to do a physical. So when they did the EKG, whatever that they did, right? I came up abnormal. So I couldn't get clear. So I had to go to my own doctor. When I went to my own doctor, they run some tests. They ain't like what they found, right? So my heart is actually bigger. My heart actually grew, which is crazy. So when I first heard it, freaked me out. You know what I mean? I've been stressed like for the last month and a half, bro. I've been so stressed, not even knowing how stressed I was. So I'm like, what does that mean? Then there's a valve that doesn't, like a lot of stuff is not operating how they think it should, how it's supposed to look, what's normal. And I'm like, what's normal? It could be just my normal. But I'm trying to understand that I get they got to eliminate all this stuff, right? I get it. But I feel like doctors should explain a little bit more intense or more details. Like a lot of the stuff you see, you know, on my chart, I don't know what half the shit means. You know what I mean? All I know is you telling me something wrong with my heart, right? Now, what frustrated me the most was they're taking away the fact that the place that I enjoy the most is the gym now. I can't have no supplement. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
So now I'm all over the place, bro, freaking out. But at the same time, you know, start playing soccer again with these guys. He watched me on the field where everybody's hovering for breath, struggling. What do I look like? Like I'm barely even doing nothing. And I'm like, it's not adding up. Like none of this stuff is adding up. And I do understand that, you know, a lot of the foods that we eat here does change your body, does change a lot. Like I've grown a whole lot since I've been in this country. Like grew. When I got here in college, I actually was just regular, like 6 feet flat, like 6.
You grew taller.
I got taller. And I was 155. When I was in college, I went up to 165.
How old were you when you came here? You're in college.
19.
Yeah, so you should have been almost full grown at least.
Bro, I thought I was done. I'm 6'2" now.
That's weird, bro.
So the food, and my mom just said that too. My mom just went home for about a month and a half. And she's like, man, I want to go back home.
Yeah.
She's like, the food here, I felt different.
Probably better, I would imagine.
Like I'm not having these issues. Like everything is functioning much better. Even Pop-Up is, when Papa goes back home, he don't have to run to the doctor every day or regular. But here he has so much issue. Like his mental is slowly going and going. And people don't understand, man, we gotta pay more attention to the food we eat here.
Like have to, because it's probably
I had a burger for the first time in Jamaica, and I was like, this that's not how burger tastes in America.
Probably is better.
It was good. It was good. It was good as hell, bro. I was
and
like,
you feel way better, I'm sure.
Of course.
Physically, more energy.
Of course. Like I said, my whole system works better when I go home.
I've heard that about Europe, or like, you know, I left the country for the first time. God, that's scary, bro. That's scary. Like, think about everything that we're seeing, and again, fuck it, this is a podcast, let's get conspiratorial. Why not, man? Like, we always talk about business and all that, and again, if you don't have your health, you have nothing else. We just went through what we went through with the whole COVID thing and all that, and it's like just so many things that just don't add up. And then
that COVID thing blow my mind, because in my head, people realize that we need each other for this world to work. The garbage man, your hairdresser, you need all these people. You couldn't get a haircut, you know what I mean? You need everything. They closed the gym. And I thought people would have been like more together after COVID, but I think it got worse.
Yeah, me too. I think people got more isolated, more used to being in their own, or like young kids just playing games and only on one line, don't need to be in person. I'm like, I can't do that, bro. I can't do that. I need to be around people. But I agree. And I think that seeing how that went down, and like, I'm the type of person that's always going to ask why. That doesn't make sense. Why? I'm never going to just say, like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, and they don't seem to like that.
Yeah, that's
but to your
boss.
point,
she always like, her thing is make it make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you watch a lot of stuff don't make sense. The bridge getting hit. Make that make sense.
Make that make sense. The Baltimore Bridge, how to make that make sense? Are you serious? Like, how, what, like, and we're supposed to, and it's like, questions aren't, they're damn sure not appreciated, but they're certainly not encouraged, right? Like, even with COVID, like, you were gaslit the second you're like, well, hold up, why am I taking this? I don't know what's in this. Whoa, you don't care about people. You want everybody to get sick? You can't, you know what I mean? I'm like, I just want to know what's in this shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and now look, now all these people are dying. Now they're admitting, by the way, and this is a fact. Now, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them just came out with a label saying like, hey, this could cause serious, potentially fatal risk. Like, straight up, like, this could kill you. And then it's like, well, COVID's probably not going to, man. If you're in decent health, it's just, and now the CDC wants us to treat it just like we treat the flu. But 2 years ago, it was, you are the devil, and we're gonna cancel you if you don't take this.
That's the problem with people. Like, you talk about controversial. So it's like, if you believe in something, you know, I don't have to believe it, right, but I can respect it.
100%.
And that's what people don't do.
Not anymore.
You know what I mean? People don't respect people's choices.
No.
Like, you should accept everything everybody throw your way. Nah, I don't believe that, man.
100%.
You gotta stand for something.
Yeah.
So with the whole COVID thing, like, if you're in good health, blah, 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 that's a bullshit too. Because there was this young lady, good health, you know, her and her boyfriend was in great health, right? She actually was competing at the time, right? Took all the shots. She ended up getting COVID, right? She still ended up getting COVID, and I haven't seen her for a while, like months, maybe a year or more. And then finally I saw her in the gym. I was like, dang, what happened? She was like, after she got COVID, she couldn't take 2 steps without being out of breath.
Wow.
We talking about a person that works out 5-6 days a week. Couldn't take 2 steps. And I was like, man, that's crazy. And now she got serious issues. But yet still she did everything. She took all the shots, all that.
And who knows what those issues are from? Are they from the shots? Are they from? And that's my point.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we don't 100% know. Another guy, big dude, Jack, always Jack. Dude look like he's always under 10%, right? He ended up getting COVID. He couldn't eat meat after. He can't eat meat now. So he's getting smaller and smaller, but he can't eat meat now.
Took all the shots?
He took all the shots too. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, I'm not gonna say I didn't take. I took the shots. I took Johnson & Johnson.
I was getting ready to take that one. Actually, my wife was like, the only reason I didn't is because at the time my fiance, who was an attorney, but she's connected to some of these things in a way, not like directly, but actually she was, and she was like. I
met a couple of people, you know, at my job. I met a couple of people that actually work with Dr. Fauci. And they was talking about, you know, the whole COVID
and they didn't
thing,
take it, or they
stuff
did?
like that. They, you know, I ain't gonna say too much, but they was just talking about it.
Right.
And the reason why I took it is because I was taking Pop-Up back and forth.
Sure.
So
yeah, you at the time you didn't know, dude. I same thing.
And like I told that lady, I'm only taking this shot because I need that card. You will never see me again.
Have you considered? I mean, they're not, and they won't tell you. That's the fucked up part. Is like, the possibility, like, what if, and I'm just, you know what I mean, like, what if something that I took, what if that's something that could possibly happen, right? They'll never tell you. There's no way in hell they'll ever say, you know what, man, you took that shot and this did. There's no way. That's what it worries me, is like, they'll never say, you know what, all these other countries that don't allow red dye number 7 or corn syrup, damn, they were right. You know, we've been killing people for years. You will never, they'll never say it. We've got to advocate for ourselves, and we've got to start asking. And my opinion is, I would encourage everybody to start asking why. Stop just accepting what you're getting fed to you on face value, and listen to people like Shawn and people from other countries that are like, this shit's not right, bro. This is weird. We don't eat like this over here. This shit is poison, and y'all are just eating it every meal, right? Like, come here, we grow, we do it. It just blows my mind. I've got so many friends from other countries, and honestly, like, they give me more hope in America, because America is a nation of immigrants, man. Like the only thing, my only issue with anything is just like a completely open border is just like, that's just chaos, man. But like, you should make it real easy for people to come, because that's what this nation is. Just make it easier, but like, at least make sure it ain't some people coming here trying to, you know, mess us up or something, man. But you know what I mean? But my point is I feel like people who come from other cultures and other countries, they appreciate the opportunities here. They work hard, they grind, but they also have a way of knowing, like, whoa, this shit is not right, by the way. Like, we don't do stuff every day. We don't eat this, we don't take that. Doctors don't do this. Like, and that's something that the powers that be here don't like. They don't want us talking like this right now. They don't want us talking about, like, yeah, we don't, like, this pears are fucking weird, or when I go to Jamaica, I feel way better. When I go to Europe, I feel way better. The ingredients that are in ketchup here or in Canada are banned. Like, in Canada.
Bro, even talk about liquor, man. I went to Mexico, and even drinking tequila when I went to Mexico versus tequila here, it's not the same. It tastes different.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing what people don't get. Like, going home and you drink a Guinness back home versus drinking Guinness here, it doesn't taste the same.
That's what I heard same in England. They're like, dude, that's not beer. This is like watered down. Do you think it's a Band-Aid and bullets theory, like we talked about? Like, sell the Band-Aid, sell the bullets?
I would say that, because like, it's everything is like a system of making money.
Yeah.
Everybody got to make money, and the most important thing I feel like in this country is making money. You know what I mean? Like, if you made a mistake in your life growing up as a kid, it's gonna be hard for you to make money when you get older. So it's like this whole system, this whole system of making money, and I feel like if the only thing we care about is money, and money number one. I heard somebody said, if I give you $1 million today, you gotta die tomorrow. Are you gonna take that money? There are a few people will, but I would say at least 90+% won't.
No.
So that's just telling me that money is not the most important thing in this world. But when you look at face value, when you look at things, that's what people make it seem like money is the most important thing. And I always tell, like, when I'm at work, they always, man, you so controversial and all that stuff. Like, even watching the NBA, like, most people watch the game, just watch the game. But with the game, there's a game within the game. A lot of people can't see that. And we even talked about that on soccer the other day. Most people play like we're playing the game, but we watching the other people can't read the game. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm telling him where to go because you can see where the person is about to, or the ball is about to go. But most people can't see that. Most people can't see anything otherwise from just like what they call it, tunnel vision or whatever you want to call it.
What's right in front of them.
It's just right in front of them. Like, you watch the news and you believe everything you see on the news because that's what's on TV.
Which is bought and paid for by the people that want you to do what they want you to do. And I feel like social media, as much as it's jacked shit up, it's also sincerely like made it, at the very least, where it's like things are more wide open in front of you than they ever have been. But like, I would have hoped that would have changed some things, but like, it helps people like you and I. But there's still the majority of the country is like, I would rather have my head in the sand and just pretend like everything's okay than actually face the fact that like these people don't give a shit about us. These people, we are a means to an end. Our tax system it's literally theft. Like,
we pay taxes on everything.
Pay taxes on everything, and it goes to what? Our currency is a fiat currency, and I'm not an economist, right? I'm just a roofer and a guy that speaks, but it means it's backed by like nothing, right? And yet it's not paid for. Like our stuff's not paid for, like taxes, and so why are we collecting them? Are the roads not good, or why are these things not solved? It's like we collect them. I watched this dude speaking again, man. It goes back to the foreign folks that give us more insight into what's going on here than the people here. There's a gentleman, I believe he's the president of Argentina, and I could be saying this wrong. He gets a lot of flack. He's definitely more like right wing, and it's not the dude from Argentina. It's damn. Anyhow, I'll come up with it. But guy's doing really, really well, and he said it. He said, in America, the taxes, where do they go? Like, you get taxed on the money, then taxed on the money, then taxed on the money, tax, and like the money is backed by nothing. It's just you print as much as you want. So like, what then are taxes for? And he's like, it's literally to create the illusion that's what it is. Like, that's it. Like, it's just to uphold an image.
Yeah, I can see
it's not even real. It's just like, okay, well, yeah, we're telling you this, but in reality, it's not backed by that. We'll just print more, which is the problem that we're in now. We just keep printing money backed by nothing, which rises the price of everything up. Inflation goes up. Like, it's just been, Roger and I had the senator on here, the guy, he was going for Senate, and he was saying, like, everybody in the Democratic Party is always pushing for a $15 an hour minimum wage. Like, by the time we get that, you're going to need 20, 30, like, right? Like, inflation's so bad. It's like, we need to fix the economy, man. Like,
yeah, I keep saying, like, people keep saying you need to go to the restaurant, you need to go all these places to support. You got to go here, go there. Like, the mayor wants most people to come back in D.C. and work. But it's like, okay, you come back and work, my paycheck ain't go up. So now you pay for gas, which tax, right? You buy food, tax. So it's like everything around you goes up.
And the money you got to pay for that food was taxed.
Exactly. So you can't afford these things anymore. So it's like, where do we go from there? You want us to do all this, but
we fucking rioted and went to war as a nation. The whole everything that basically created, ironically, we're talking about Memorial Day, not Independence Day, but still, Memorial Day. And yet, like, this nation was essentially, at its core, founded on these principles like, oh, you want to tax us on this tea? Like, just tea, bro. And we're like, nah, we're going to war. You know what I mean? Like, where did we go from that to this? Like, and what are we going to? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did we get from that to this? Our nation's not that old. A couple hundred years old. And we went from that. This group were like, oh, you want to tax me on this tea? Oh, no, we can't go for that. We're just dumping all this shit and we're ready to go to war on some tea. And now it's like, we get taxed so much. It's almost like, it's just insulting, bro. It's like, and we don't do anything about it. We just kind of like, but I think that it starts with talking about it, but we also need to get perspectives from people like you and other people that are from different countries, and we all come together and say, this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
And that's the problem. It's divide. We're so divided.
Yeah.
And the more we get divided, the more they just do whatever.
And I think that's on purpose too. I think all of it. What they feed us.
Stuff is on purpose.
Yeah. You're right. All of it, bro. Yeah. All of it. What they feed us, how they take care of us, the food they feed us, the chemicals they put in the food. It's not a coincidence. And look, you can get into, people gaslight like, the World Economic Forum is, I'm about to go down I'm trying not to go too far down rabbit holes, but the bottom line is, it feels like, there's this, I don't know, man. Is it like a population control thing? I don't know. It just seems so odd that like the food would be like the stuff that happens doesn't seem to be like aimed towards longevity or further expansion of the human race. It's encouraging people not to make babies. It's encouraging not to get married. It's encouraging not to have a wife, or you know what I mean, like a traditional, the nuclear family, as they called it in America, like that is completely discouraged now. Like they stay home with a wife or and make a family is now like, nah, that's not cool. What's cool is I identify as whatever and not doing that and not making a family, and oh, by the way, eat all this shit here and don't take care of yourself, and don't, like, it's crazy, bro. Like it just feels that way, whether or not it's real or not. That's how I feel. But
identify. Man, we're not even gonna go down that road.
yeah,
What a lot of people don't understand, which I got a couple Africans that works at my job, pretty cool people. But I think the difference between a lot of us don't understand is we're culture different.
right.
Like, people will have a problem if I express how I feel, right? Mm-hmm. And you can't say this or you can't say that. And I'm like, if this is how I'm raised.
Right. Your culture is totally different.
This is, in my culture back home, this is what we do.
Right.
Right. If you don't like something or somebody did something you don't like, I don't feel like I have to sugarcoat what I have to say to express myself.
Right.
Like, this is how I express myself. But you want me to express myself how you feel I should.
Yes.
And I'm trying to tell people, you gotta remember, man, we all culture different. Like, one guy in my job, I forgot what part of Africa he came from, but he's so well mannered. It's crazy how well mannered he is. Doesn't matter if he's upset or not. But I had learned that that's their culture. That's the way those people are. You know, and in fact that once we start learning, like, we all are different, we all are culture different, raised different, we should just accept the person for who they are. Like, we have an Asian lady that is so sweet. So sweet. The problem what most people have is she do too much.
Yeah.
And do she do too much? Yeah, she do too much. But it's like, you want to take the good part, that she's nice and she's so helpful, but you don't want to take the part that she do too much. You gotta accept people for people. If this is who that person is, this is who that person is. Stop trying to change everyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you like, this is what you like, that's what you like. You know, you just gotta understand that we all are culture different. We all are different. What you might accept, I'm not gonna accept it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you want to go down, identify all this crap, that's, if you okay with it, fine. But I'm not going to accept that.
Right.
Like,
and don't cancel me or
like,
act like I'm this monster.
If you're a guy, you're a guy. Like, why, if you're a guy, now you're saying you're a girl, I should accept that, and just like, so we should accept everything you guys want. But when it comes to us or me, it's like, don't accept my side. Like, what you say, whatever, you so wrong, you so this, you so that.
Right.
But this is just who we are as a people.
Right.
You know, I can respect you over there, and you keep it over there. Mm-hmm. But don't push that on me. You know what I mean? It's like,
yes,
we just different. We're culture different, and that's what people need to just accept people for people. We all ain't gonna do the same thing.
Nope. But that's when we come together, right? Like, because to your point, like, now that's exactly what we're being fed is like, oh no, you don't have a choice. Like, this is what it is. Like, and if you don't like it, we're gonna cancel you, we're gonna ruin you, and it's just like all of a sudden, and I'm like, well, I don't care if that's what you want to do, but to your point, I'm like, I'm not. I think that's, you know, that, and again, we're going down in a way, but I couldn't help but think, like, when it starts being like, oh, well, I identify as, and again, man, that's your business, I don't care, but that then opens up this whole, like, I saw this thing the other day where, like, they really are whole ass, like, animal people, like, that's a real lane where they're like, oh, I identify as a German Shepherd or whatever, bro. Like, I'm not even, I mean, I saw that, like, they really are like, yeah, I'm a wolf, I'm a this, I'm a that, like, straight up, and like, they believe that or whatever. I don't know if they really, it's just wild as shit, and I think that's the door that gets opened up when we start doing that, like, and then it's like, you can't, like, now where's the line drawn? It's like, I identify as a chair or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's
whoa.
unfair for these kids that's growing up. Like, you're not giving
it pisses me off of
choices
those kids that grow up
to make their own choices. It's like everything's being force fed to people just accept these things. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people I heard that in in Europe that changed their sex, did all that stuff as a kid, and now want to change back as they get older.
Now they can't.
And you can't. So it's like, you gotta, I don't know, man. I just feel like there's, growing up back in Jamaica, like, kids was off limits on certain things.
Right. What would that be like now in Jamaica? Then they wouldn't be with that.
In some places, they just won't. Yeah. They won't accept it. I think, to what I've seen, like, those people be on other side or whatever. It's not as, I'm not gonna say there's not those people back home. I think they are. You've seen it. But it's not like shoved down your throat like how it is shoved down your throat here.
Well, the kid thing is what really upsets me, man. Like, I mean, again, I didn't mean to get all into, like, again, to clear everything up, I don't care. I don't care at all. My problem is this universal idea that, like, no matter what it is, no matter whether you agree with it or not, you have to accept this if a certain group says this is now what's being accepted. And
Exactly.
I think that's fucking dangerous. I think it's really dangerous. I think we should be able to have conversations, be respectful, be loving, be tolerant, man, all that. You know, my grandmother, who's now passed, not my grandma, I called her nanny, but like my mom's mom, she had a wife, right? Like, growing up, like, it doesn't matter. I love my grandmother, right? Like, I call her nanny. I love my nanny, right? Like, cool, you know what I mean? And Adele's amazing. Like, that's just not me, right? That's not what I do. That's not what I'm into, right? Like, my point isn't even that. Like, that's relatively normal now. It's like, just things have gone so out of, and this idea with these kids that can't even think. We can think for ourselves. We can think for ourselves, right? Because we've had enough years and that wasn't what we came up in. So we have that innate ability to be like, wait a second, that's weird. What? I worry that, like, this idea that, like, oh, no, this is what it is now. Well, this is what it is for a certain group until they get old enough to where they're like, that was weird as shit. But what they live in is what their reality is. And now it's like, well, this is what it is. It's in every show. Every show I'm watching, Spider-Verse, this-a-verse, that-a-verse, all of a sudden every single one has all the things of today. It's in all of it, bro. And I'm like, why? Why is this such a thing? Why is this being pushed so obviously hard? Is it population control? Like, what is it? And then you're looked at like a maniac. Then you're looked at like people who question, like, well, wait a second, there's got to be a reason you be doing this. And you're the crazy person. You're the tinfoil hat conspiracy person.
Yep.
But you're also not the person identifying as a fucking dog. But you're the crazy person. And I'm not trying to say, like, I'm just saying.
I think, like, I don't know for you, but when I was growing up, I wanted to pierce my ears. This is the thing about culture and kids. Kids are kids, right? So when I was growing up, I wanted to pierce my ears, right? See, I got earrings in now. I wanted to do that. But I couldn't until I graduated high school. These are the things that's being not teach anymore. There's some things, the tough love that we all call it back home. Kids are kids and kids stays in a child's place. Then my mama always say that, right? There's a lot of things we want to do as kids, but you couldn't because you're a child. You don't know, you're still learning. Yeah, you could do X, Y, Z, but guess what? You're gonna do that when you're grown.
Right.
So the day I graduated, it was the day I pierced my ears, and my mama was still mad.
Yeah.
She's like, why did you told me I could? Because I graduated. You know what I mean? But it's like simple things like my daughter be like, can I go get my nails done? I get nails, this, all that stuff. And I'm like, you're going to school to learn. You don't need all that stuff to learn. You know what I mean? It's like, these are the things that we got away from. Teaching, showing tough love. Like in my house, simple thing as washing the dishes. Like I told her the other day, you're washing the dishes, not to wash the dishes, because I could wash them myself. It's to teach you responsibility. You know what I mean? All these things that is life lessons. So when we get to the point of being a parent, you know, we always say, dang, now I see why my mom did what she did. You know what I mean? Now we appreciate it.
Yeah.
But we don't teach anymore. We just allow these kids to just do whatever because this is what they feel like. This is what I feel. Yeah, you feel this way today, but you might not feel that way tomorrow. So why we give so much into feelings?
And it's still like we try to hold on, like they still have this ban on like certain vapes and stuff like that, even increase the age, right? And tattoos and all this stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, but they're kids. Like, it's just this, it's such a freaking bizarro world America's become. And it's not just America, it's like a whole like mix of countries that kind of like seem to push everything. And it's like they're all like talking and like, all right, that's what we're gonna do now. And it's just like, but there's still these old rules that are like that just doesn't make any sense. But God forbid you say that, well, now you're canceled or gaslit or whatever, man. I could talk about this until tomorrow, man, to be honest with you, but I love having your input. We got to have you on again, man, because I like talking about just real issues. You know, I love Kitchen Table Podcast started as just a door-to-door podcast because of, you know, it's where business gets done and where I train guys to get to in the house, and it was a little, you know, play on that, and only certain people would know what that is. Then it became more personal and professional development. It's definitely still like sales and, you know, and entrepreneurship, but like all this stuff is stuff that like whether you're, no matter what you do, this is stuff we're dealing with. You know what I mean?
It is. I will say one thing I noticed, there's still people out there that's trying to put the right thing out. Because I was looking at TikTok yesterday and I saw this guy was on live. And I don't know, something just say click on it. So I click on it and I was listening to the guy talk, and the things we do is not be honest to people that watch social media. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people watch what we do but don't understand that some of these things is not real. So for him to be on there and say, hey, you know, people was like, do you take steroids, all that, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yes. Right? He had no problem saying yes, which I respect him for that. But he also, when person asked him, what are you taking? His response was, there are kids watching this. There are actually kids watching this. So why am I going to sit here and tell you X, Y, Z, blah, 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 when there's kids watching? Like, if you go do your own research. Right. So it's like, yeah, I take steroids, but at the same time, I'm not telling you or the kids to go do X, Y, Z. This is what I do. And that's what people don't get. Like, you have to put in a lot of work to get certain places. Everybody just want it now, right? Being in the gym, putting on muscle, putting on size, it takes years, you know what I mean? And then you see people just run and want to take steroids or whatever. I'm not saying you can't or don't, but at least have a foundation. Put the work in first before you say, let me do X, Y, Z. Right. You know what I mean? Put the work in before you go jump and do something to your body that may do damage instead of what you're actually looking for. Yeah. And I think that the more people start being honest on social media, it will be better for a lot of people. Man, I could not agree more, especially with all the folks that, you know, are in my circles. So that's why Roger's laughing. Because a lot of guys that, you know, we worked really hard to build up a brand, and we still continue to do that, you know. But I'm a big, like, I refuse to not just, I want to be honest. I want to build a brand based on something real, right? Like real entrepreneurial success, what I really have, what I really own, what I'm really doing, where I really come from, what I'm really going through. And a lot of these guys, man, they only want to show the good or cars that they might have just rented, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what did you even do to get here? And how are you capable? Like, why am I paying you money for your advice? Like, what did you do? You know what I mean? But it's just so much fake stuff online, so much fake stuff on social media that I think now, to your point, it's more refreshing. And you eventually, I think that by being authentic and being honest and being more yourself, you're going to be better off. You don't really get a lot of likes and follow. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, we've noticed that. And that's the problem with social media and with people. You got to be okay with that. Yeah. Like when I do my own videos and stuff, and I'll go up to a little 200 and stuff like that. But when Roger do my videos, it's like, Jesus, bro, did you see this? 1,500, like, dude, this thing is just going. But that's not, I'm not that person. I'm not that good. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is that what you're seeing is real work. This is actually what we're doing here. We're putting in this work. You know what I mean? I can't make it look a spectacular how Roger could, but what I want people to understand is when you see my stuff, when you see us in the gym working, dude, we're actually really in here working and grinding. It took me damn near a couple of years now, and that's, thank God to Will, to finally learn how to engage my legs, my little baby calf that barely don't grow. Now I got some calf.
Yeah.
Because Big Will don't teach me how to actually do this. He taught me actually how to work out. And that's one thing I've learned, that the older generation don't really teach the youth. And then so many people die with all this knowledge. So it's like, the one thing I do is when people are training with me, even Roger's training with me, when you train with me, what I do,
always
teach you how to do this so you don't depend on me. Yes, it's good to do stuff to make money, but at the same time, if I'm not teaching you, I'm just stealing. I don't want to just take your money for training. I want you to understand this is what we do. You're learning all this so you can fly on your own. So you could do the same thing for the next person and the next person. But people are afraid of that, because if I keep teaching you, then you won't need me no more. Well, in this business, when it comes to training and fitness, you're always going to need somebody.
Yeah. Actually, Alex Hormozy, ironically, talks about that. Like, he's like, dude, give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away for free. I know it sounds ironic. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but like, then people see like, damn, this guy knows what he's talking about, right? And then you can charge. And there's always like, you know, people will charge for your expertise, but it's that fear that keeps you from ever being what you want to be in the first place. You know what I mean? That fear and that limited mindset, limited
failure,
beliefs,
man.
Fear of failure.
That's I think that's going to kill a lot of people's dream, because a lot of us are so afraid to fail. Like,
I think that's the number one thing that keeps people from pursuing their dreams.
Yeah,
is fear of failure.
You know, you gotta, like, I just realized that I was actually stressed out. I ain't thought I could be stressed out. But every time you see me, I look like, but now I'm okay with saying I'm not good.
Right.
I'm okay with saying that. Hey, how you doing today, bro? Man, I ain't good today. You know what I mean? When I walk in the gym on my crew note and I say, hey, not today, I ain't good. I'm not good. So when I put my headphones on and we just getting it in, they already know, you know, okay, he's stressed out today, he just want to get it out. You know, and that's once most people find that their outlet to where they could take their stress, it will be a lot more helpful. But the first thing you got to recognize is that you actually is stressed out. There is a problem, there is something. We all ain't just sitting up here being all like, we all got it together. We're figuring it out just like everybody else. It's a hard work, but once you notice it, then do something about it.
I love that, man. Overcome your fear and you can really do just about anything, right? So, I mean, don't let, there's a lot of takeaways here, but I love having this whole group. I would wish you guys could have heard them all talking. Y'all guys let's just talk. Let it be recorded. I don't know. There's a whole different thing when they're talking off camera than when they're on here, because Will sounds like he might as well be from here. But then as soon as it goes off and they start talking, I'm like, I don't know what they're saying, man.
It's kind of hard to like have a conversation with somebody that's not from.
Well, yeah, I get that. I get that.
So it's like we sit up here and talk. Like, I don't have a lot of Jamaicans around me,
right?
For a reason, because we all sometimes don't get along as how we supposed to. But when you find, like, he's new to the circle and he's trying to figure how we just accept him. Like, when you pick up on good vibes and good people, man, you just have to just show them the ropes. You know what I mean? And like I was telling him in the car, like, I wish I had like a person like what I got now with Will. I wish I had that when I was younger. Things would have been like a lot more easier going forward when you have somebody to like guide you, teach you. So it's like we don't get that anymore from the older generation because of the world we live in now. Yeah. So as we will sit here and say, like, you know, in my little world of we want to talk about, you know, chat sitting now, whatever we want to talk about, but it has to be somebody here to have like those little conversations. For
You
us
guys
to
are
be
talking
like,
about
yeah.
that's right age because he's 43, but you said
So
he said it. We call it something else. It's not. He didn't say age. He just said age or something like that. Age.
Yeah.
I was like, do what now?
Yeah, I couldn't believe me I was 43. So I tell him me I'm 43. I say, yo, there's no way. What him say?
So
but yo, sit must be wrong. Him say you should have you should have what him say, boy, he said to Roger, yo, boy, you me embarrassed. Cause the man upon the field, and we there say, and we are struck man say, yo, boy, you should have been embarrassed.
Did you guys hear any of that? I heard embarrassed, but I didn't hear that.
So we was pretty much saying the fact that we all playing on the same team, and like when most people like there was gas, like he just got off the field talking about, hey man, I need water.
Yeah.
And he looked around and looked at me just walking off the field like, man, something wrong, man. Like, what's up with you? Like, you ain't tired, you ain't. And I was explaining to him, this is why what the doctor said about my heart going and all that stuff start making sense. So it's like, even I didn't want to do the whole going to the doctors every week and all that stuff. It kind of make a lot of sense to me now. Like when I go to the doctors and take blood pressure, my blood pressure's always perfect, bro.
Really?
Always, no matter what, it's always perfect.
Mine's
and
usually pretty high, but
it never makes sense. But now it's like the way he breaks it down is like my heart operate like now I'm sitting here, my heart is like if you look at the numbers, it looks like I got an issue, like something is wrong, right? Because it's below the numbers. But if I should get up and start we go to the gym right now, it goes,
yeah.
And it's like operating to where it's like I can perform on a high level, which at first I ain't pay attention to it. I ain't, look at it. But when they start doing all these tests and stuff like that, it start making sense to me. Like I can get up here now and I can just go run 2 miles like I do in the morning time with no problem.
And maybe that's just why, but.
Yeah, I ain't gonna knock it, I got a good machine right here. I ain't gonna knock it.
Right, hopefully it's a good thing, and it's maybe just like the running or
so
something.
far, like every test that I've done, everything so far comes back to where it's like, this is my norm.
Right.
The only one more test I have to do now is just make sure there's no like scar damage to my heart. But overall, so far, everything I've done is actually good. Pictures, everything they've done so far is like, this is this guy Norm. This is how he operates.
Good.
So
that's beautiful. Hopefully we'll be making sure we get a checkup on you, but hopefully I know it will be. I know it'll be good, man. And we need to get you back in when we get these shirts. We need to we need to have you guys back soon, man. I enjoy talking I like the casual Memorial Day, just talking shit, talking Jamaican or whatever the hell y'all call it. Y'all just basically talk. I'm just sitting here. But sincerely, man, I appreciate you coming on. I love talking to you. I love talking about real subjects, stuff that we really think, not just so anyways, how do you increase your bottom line? You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. But this is stuff we all deal with, and most of the shit is stuff that we all think or are too afraid to talk about.
Yeah,
but
a lot of people are just afraid to say
right.
what's on their mind, so they allow somebody else to do it. But it should be okay for you to just express how you feel. You know what I mean? It should be okay for a person to be like, hey, this is how I feel today, and you don't be judged by just expressing how you feel.
Sure.
This is why a lot of us are scared to like talk or even open up to people. We go in this little shell because a lot of people don't want to, you talk about your stuff and it's like, man, that person's XYZ. Like they don't, so it's like people got to understand, especially for men.
100% for me.
We got to understand that it's okay to express ourselves.
It's okay to say you're not okay.
Yeah.
Especially for men, especially in our age range. But where can people find you, Shawn? Where can we find you online? All the good places.
Well, somebody stole my other
Instagram. That's right.
So it's actually Fit for Life on Instagram. It's still Fit for Life on TikTok, and my website is fitforlife.com.
Spell it.
Oh crap! Yeah, it's FITFI Life LIFE.
Fit
So it's the Jamaican
by
part.
life.
Is the Jamaican part in there? So most people would say fit for life, but it's fit life.
F-I.
You know, you gotta
Fit
throw
for
that little
life.
Jamaican part in there.
F-I, right, yeah. We'd be like, fit fi life? I don't understand it.
Yeah, that's the way we talk, you know.
Fit for life. Fit for life. Age.
So,
Age.
Yeah, what
Oh,
Bob
my
Marley
God.
say? One love, big up, enough respect.
Hell yeah. Love you guys. All right. We will get you guys on soon again, man. Happy Memorial Day.